with stuff, important stuff, and get on to that.
We're ready whenever you are.
Okay, so I'm gonna call the meeting, the ADC board meeting to order at 9:01. Okay, you read our public comment language?
Yes, sir. I've gotta get out my glasses, cause I make this print too small, but. Alright, public comment. Please be advised that comments must be kept at 3 minutes or less, and that citizens may comment with regard to items on the agenda or pertaining to AEDC's policies, programs, or services. As to items not on the agenda, the AEDC board may not discuss, take action on the issue, but may make statements of fact, recite an existing policy, request an item to be placed on a future agenda, or may refer a question to staff.
Okay, any comments? Go, Mr. Fisher.
Alright, I got some documents for you guys to check out.
Mr. Fisher, I heard there's a little chatter going on that we sat together in the last city council meeting.
What's that about? What do you mean?
I'm kinda joking. Really, it's true.
Are you trying to get
I'm
me
kinda
to
joking.
expound on it, or do
I'm
you
trying
want
to get,
to?
I'm trying to get
You
you
can
to
pass it
tell.
in. You give all to me.
Sure. Let me see, whoever else wants one, I'll keep one. I've got an extra, 2 extra here, one for Alex and there's 1 extra.
Thank you.
There's an agenda item on the Thrive Scholarship with Amarillo College, and I believe Amarillo College is a great, that's, yeah, you can keep that, keep it. I believe Amarillo College is a great service. I graduated from Amarillo College, 2-year degree. I mean, I'm worth millions now, not like Alex Fairley money, but I'm worth millions, my accountant says that. And to go from that status of being worth nothing, and even homeless as a teenager, I think Amarillo College is a big part of that. However, I think that what we're doing right now with Amarillo College, I think this is falls in line with like the NGO stuff that they talk about, like with the Doge stuff. Like, there's money being just laundered through Amarillo College to do things. I'll give you an example. When they bought at Sunset Center, they used the bond money of the last bond to purchase the JCPenney's at Sunset Center. They paid more for JCPenney's than the entire property was worth. The whole Sunset Center was worth. They overpaid for this asbestos-filled building. So who got the money? I don't know, but I know they overspent for it, and they used tax money for that. I mean, just one look at Amarillo College, the font and the color scheme, it's all Amarillo National. Now we have a bank school there, it's all Amarillo National. It's just a scheme, and now we're looking at this Thrive money. If you look at the legal purpose of the ADC, I know you guys know it, it's to create direct jobs. There's no direct jobs connected to scholarships. You can't say those people are even gonna stay in Texas, and that's part of the ADC money must go to projects that end result is direct jobs in Texas. So these guys get an education and go anywhere they want. It's not directly tied to a specific company that is gonna stay here. And so this is just general money that's just being thrown out there. And I'd like for you guys to scrutinize that. And I don't think it's the purpose of the ADC to help fund Amarillo College. Thank you. Well, there's one more thing. At the last meeting, Mr. Fairley, or Alex, he tells me to call him Alex. Alex, you mentioned that it was, you're getting a paltry, small percentage rate on the funds that were sitting in the bank for the ADC. I just did a quick analysis of it. I thought I saw where it was like 240,000 in interest, but Ms. Storrs, I guess she's not here. I briefly looked at the last council meeting where I asked her about it, and she replied, Cole asked her to reply, and she said, we have several investments for the ADC that are subject to state law, and she quote said they have several feeders, I don't know what that means, they have several money market accounts, and they have several agencies, I don't know what that means either. She stated that the money market accounts are making 4.4%, and I just want to make sure that is that what you saw on the financials? So Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's a fair question that we kinda in the back of my mind, that we gotta come back to.
So as a statement of fact, we are gonna look at a quarterly investment report today. It is in the packet. And once you review that, you'll have a better idea of what we're getting.
And then I question, like, does that match up with the last quarterly statement? That we're receiving the same kind of money? Cause I remember him saying that, and I just kinda glanced at it, you know, I gotta run my companies too, so it's hard to spend a lot of time on this. Some people think I don't work, I've heard that from some of the city council people, they don't think I have a job at the city, but I wish I didn't, I wish I could just come up here and just scrutinize you guys all day.
Are we
Thank you.
talking about Thrive and Open today?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we're gonna come back to that, right?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Thanks, Mike.
Okay,
In accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, section 551.072, purchase of real property located in the southwest quadrant of the city of Amarillo, sale of real property located in the northeast quadrant of the city of Amarillo, and lease of real property located in the southwest quadrant of the city of Amarillo.
okay, so we'll now, go into executive session at 9:07.
But the last year in the previous agreement, our budget for that was $2,000-ish. And Amarillo College spent less than or it cost us less than $400,000 for a full year.
Okay, well, that's a good question, I would've never known, so we have 600 set aside, it just doesn't get used.
They are attempting, the program has grown every year that it's been in place. So I would say that with better communication with AISD and the students that are qualified for it, that the program will continue to grow over time. It's not gonna probably grow to the 600 level anytime soon.
How much the other agencies have put in?
Same. We're dividing it 4 ways between Amarillo Area Foundation, Amarillo College, AISD, and ourselves.
And
So
basically,
it's 25% of the cost we pay.
and we did not expand that, right? It's just AISD. So if you graduate from AISD, you're eligible to go to AC for 2 years.
And get 60
books
hours.
and tuition, yeah.
Yes, sir. And we're the last money in, so any scholarship that a student receives, any Pell Grant, anything like that, that goes first.
Yeah.
And then we pay the remainder.
So, do we need to expand it if we have 600,000, we're only using 4? Like, don't we probably just have enough money, or do we still need to amend it?
Well, we need to amend the time
To give
because
them a
the,
year.
yeah,
Gotcha.
the agreement shuts off on June 30th, 2030 currently. And this amendment extends it to June
I gotcha.
30th,
So we
2031.
have the money, we just need to expend the time.
Yes, sir.
So, kind of in light of Mike's comment, like, I haven't been out aware of that till you updated me last week, or this weekend. So you guys know this guy works every weekend, or, no, I've been Friday. Yeah, we're up here working. This basically helps kids that graduate from AISD the opportunity to get an education, and the goal is that they're getting trained in things that we need in our workforce here.
Absolutely.
Like, Mike, I don't know if we're supposed to engage, but I like that. Like, I think that's a great, and to me, it's directly related to jobs, because if they don't get trained to be able to do these jobs, then they don't get hired.
That's correct.
So,
May I speak on this?
I'm fine with it, you wanna,
Yeah, I mean, I agree wholeheartedly, 100%, Alex. But, I mean, I think it would be worth looking at, as far as, I mean, I've just read this thing, this AG's opinion. I think.
as to whether it's,
Yeah, well, this talks about, contributing sales and use tax revenues to, I mean, this was Clarendon College, for example, not giving that many monies to that. I know for me to get comfortable with it, I would prefer to maybe just look a little more into this one.
Okay.
That's just me, because, I mean, we're trying to go above approach and.
yeah, I haven't read that.
I mean, I just was reading one in the end of it to me, but, I think and there may be validity in it, there may not be.
Well, and the comment I made is just a very general thought, so if it's not legal.
So a student that has completed all 4 years at a AISD high school, and there's some very minimum requirements, they can choose to take a vocational path, and get a certificate. They don't have to go all 60 hours, but the opportunity for our community is for us to increase our educational attainment by allowing kids to go to college basically for free to get a certificate or a degree from AC.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
think-
the purpose.
We're already in the contract, we're not backing out of this, we're not gonna discuss the legality. I think it's this valid points, but I think the only time to come is if we approve this would be in 2030. To
We're
say, hey,
still-
when we renew this thing, I don't think we're gonna back out.
You still add money to it, right? Because you're
Yeah.
adding another year. And what you said when you first came in here, Alex, you said, I wanna be above reproach. There's some reproach here. And what you said was it's directly related to jobs, but does it meet the direct jobs requirement? And the direct job means with a company, with a specific company and a project. So this is a project. Is there a direct job that's basically guaranteed from this? And there's not, because it's you're throwing money generally out there in hopes of someone getting a job, because that's what AC is for, is to elevate your knowledge and get something better than just what you would walking out of high school. And it doesn't meet the requirements of it being in Texas, because those kids can get out of school and go anywhere they want. So it's not a direct job. It doesn't meet that. And like I said, I'm totally fine with this, with AC doing this. I think we shouldn't just give it away. There should be some ownership by the students. I work 2 jobs. I rode my bike to work so the wife could drive the car, and that was my ownership that drove me to want to be successful. If we continue to just hand everything to all these kids, there's no ownership and there's no drive to do, like, for example, for what I did. And I think that we shouldn't be handing everything to them and make them earn part of it. And I don't.
For y'all's edification, 4A law does allow for us to make investments in workforce. And so if we want to table this and look at it at our next meeting, I can review his information and be prepared.
To Don's point, we're in the deal, right?
We are in the deal.
Like, particularly with just Josh reading it on the fly and having a question, I think it would be good to look into that, but I also wouldn't be opposed to doing this now. I don't know if I would hold this up to, but I agree with Josh. It probably needs a good, honest look. I'm not qualified to know, and
I mean, I'm no attorney, but, this one was from the Tampa Economic Development. Tampa Economic Development would have no basis on which to conclude that the expenditure of 4A tax proceeds to support Clarendon College Center Tampa would be consistent with the purposes of the act. Therefore, the act does not permit a Section 4A Development Corporation to make gifts of public funds.
That was not for training, that was for building a campus.
Okay.
Different.
So we're talking about workforce development, is what we're
That's
talking about.
exactly what we're
We're not
talking
adding
about.
to their
No.
assets or
No, we are
structures.
not.
Yeah. So that,
so you feel very confident that we're within the guide, this program fits
Yes, sir.
within the guide?
Yeah,
I would be okay to go ahead with this, but I would love another discussion, and it didn't have to be
Absolutely.
public, but here's what I think is good, I kinda jokingly said this, but, I did sit by Mike in the last council meeting, and people wouldn't think we would, and people would probably say, hey, don't call on people in a meeting, but it's just good when people get to talk and say, and I would defer to, like, I think those things are good, and Mike, I appreciate your comments and the civility and of them, and I think this is healthy, so. Were you hoping we would vote on this today, or?
I was, but it doesn't have to be done today. We can.
I would leave it up to you guys. You guys wanna go ahead or wait and have another discussion?
What I would say, I mean, because with Josh, I was reading through this too, thinking, well, wow, this AG, I mean, his opinion is exactly what it says, but, you know, Doug's saying, that's about building a building. It's not even, then this is taken out of context.
It's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
But that opinion, it doesn't talk about building the building.
Well, it talks about the project that they're putting funds towards.
It doesn't, it just says that the money is being given to a college. It even says in the first
But I think
part of the
context
opinion,
is that
it
they're
says
building-
we don't know what it's for. So we made this opinion not knowing what it's for, and it said we can't give money to a junior college, just gifting it to them, because that's what this is, it's a gift.
I would rely on Doug's expertise, and again,
Sure.
not coming against you at all, Mike, but I mean, this is his job, and again, on the fly, at first I was with Josh going, whoa, this AG opinion, but then hearing him say, hey, I'm super confident in what we're doing, we vetted this, I mean, it is above, I mean, I don't.
I'm impressed you guys can read the AG opinion at the same time as a meeting. I couldn't do both things. Okay, so do you guys wanna go ahead or do you wanna wait? Like
I mean, me personally, I would be fine with either waiting or saying, that's just me, to get comfortable with it.
So you'd be fine either way?
I mean, I would
Or you
still
would
like
say
to.
wait?
I would like to wait.
Okay,
Jack next week.
okay, if we don't do it, we'll wait, we'll do it next time.
Yeah, and you're gonna get a whole new mix, because we're probably not here.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I'm just saying, you're gonna get a whole new, it's a whole new thing. Not that, I'm not saying that it doesn't matter, but I'm just saying, understand that, we table this.
Let's go next new members decided.
I mean, I'm just
it's a good point.
throwing that out there.
It's a good point, we'll have to re-educate them. Mike, I'm pretty sure you'll show up again.
I'll come talk again.
I'm okay.
Listen, I completely agree with the program, I think it's a great thing. I just think I feel like we just have a due diligence, I mean, whether it
Yeah.
was Mr. Fisher or any other citizen, I mean, if you bring in AG's opinion, and my gut feeling says like, this could be some pause. You don't know what you don't know.
But
So
have you
what-
looked at this?
No, because I hadn't seen
Okay.
it.
I just,
Okay.
yeah, I just gotta be
Let's just wait, it'll be fun, we'll educate the new people, none of us knew about this 20 minutes ago, these details, so we can get an update.
How about ask the AG for another opinion on this? I mean, they would give it, wouldn't be any cost.
Yeah, you have to reach out to the attorney or, the county attorney, I think, the rest of the one. 'Cause we can't just request one.
No, they don't just give opinions just because you ask them for it. There's gonna be a impetus for them to act on that. So it's fine to table it?
You okay?
Yeah.
So there's no like, when do we need to do it by,
Yes.
Doug?
Well, yeah, we need to do it before the summer's over, for sure.
Okay, so we have time, we have a meeting or two, okay. Are you okay with that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No problem.
So we make a motion to table that. So, I move to table, the discussion and taking action on the 2024 Thrive Scholarship Agreement.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next,
Quarterly investment.
order the investment report.
Yes, sir. It's under tab 6 in your packet. Yes, I apologize for that, but, that is small. Okay, so, basically, the city is our fiscal agent, also does our investment, and they do it according to the City of Amarillo investment policy. What is in front of you is the ins and outs of our investments. So a Cedars is a specialty financial instrument that allows us to invest more than the $250,000 that's guaranteed by the FDIC with a financial institution. And so
That's what Cedars is?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I assume then we get a better interest rate from them by giving them more money at once, or?
Yeah,
Or is it
well,
just a vehicle and there's no?
it is just a vehicle. I think the rates are better because the amount of our deposits typically. But as you can see, there's.
So we got a bunch of Cedars.
Yes, 5.34, 5.49, 5.3, 5.51, 5.16, 496, 483, 444, 461. And you can see the rates we're getting. So,
Where were you? I'm sorry, where were you reading?
these right here.
Oh, those are the interest rates right there.
Yes, sir, and the maturity dates. So they're all, short-term, typically no longer than 2 years, generally speaking. And those are the rates we're getting.
I'm just glad it's not .03.
Yes, sir, I agree. At one point in time, we were experiencing that.
So Doug, well, let me ask, what's the difference in the Cedars that pays 5.51 and the one that pays 4.61?
So as those investments are made, you'll see the maturity dates are different.
Yeah,
And those rates do move daily. And so as we make those investments, it does.
so we just did that one at a time, interest was higher.
Yes, sir.
So Doug, let me ask you this, do you think we're getting everything out of our interest that we can?
These rates are really, from a market standpoint, are really pretty good. I'm in the market regularly, looking at these. These rates are not bad.
Are we giving up anything by really just kind of following what the city has to do? Like the rules I know are a little bit different.
Sure, yeah, the weighted maturity for, under the city's investment policy cannot exceed 2 years. Laura has instructed, her staff to, look at a new ladder for us because we need to be pushing that 2-year weighted average maturity.
So we can go longer than 2 years?
We can. And so we need to invest some money that's longer than 2 years as it's
How long can we
appropriate.
invest it?
Well, when your average weighted maturity cannot exceed 2 years, you can only have a little bit. You can go all the way 10 years if you wanted to.
But I mean, you said we can do it for longer?
We could if we peeled ourselves back from the city's investment policy and created our own.
How long could we go?
There's whatever y'all approve at that point.
Oh, so we're not limited like by state law that we
No,
could
sir.
only invest for 5 years or, so that could be substantial, I think.
It could be. The advantage of laddering over a longer period of time, when the rates are good, we can lock in those rates.
Let me tell
I'd
you
like to
what-
have that 551 on a 10-year deal and not a 18-month deal.
Yeah. So, I tell you what I was kind of, I was waiting to bring this up.
Sure.
And I wasn't planning to bring it up today. Today's not the day, but I wanna tell you what I was uncomfortable with about Laura's answers the very first time I brought this up. She said, we're working on a laddering deal, like however she said it. And then she said something about hiring a consultant. We're gonna have a hiring consultant. Do I remember that
The
right?
city has a consultant that helps them with their investments.
So,
That's my understanding. Andrew, is that correct? Yeah.
So what I didn't love about that was, I was kinda like, why are we just now working on this? Like, if we've had this money, like, if we can invest money for 5 years over 2, we're getting more interest. And it may be that she's like, maybe it's not her, maybe she's like, look, we have the rules we have, you guys are coming over here and using our resources to do this, and this is how we do it, and that doesn't have anything to do with Laura.
Right.
But I find myself with my ADC hat on wanting to say, okay, could they change and give us an exception so that if we
Yeah.
use them, we can invest longer? Can they change their policy so that it doesn't apply to us? So
Yes, so the answer to that is yes. Historically, that has not been the case. So what has occurred is we have been kind of lumped in with the city dollars. And
Right.
so we've been invested the same way they have.
Right.
And they do not push the 2-year weighted average maturity. They don't wanna get anywhere close to it. But interest rates have been inverted.
Yeah.
For a significant period of time, a 13-week treasury brings much more than a 5-year treasury does. Currently. So it's really benefited us that we've been lumped in with the way they do it, but long-term, they have committed to setting up a policy laddering for us within the city guidelines. That hasn't happened yet, but it is gonna happen.
Okay. So I think I would just say, I would just like to kind of push forward with that.
Yes, sir.
Cause, we just wanna make every bit that we can, of course,
Absolutely.
so, okay. That's all. That's all.
Questions?
So,
Oh, very good.
I would, it's, on the backside.
Okay, I would entertain a motion to accept the quarterly investment report as presented.
I'm looking for an investment report as presented.
Alright, motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay. Staff and